Alright, so in this video, we're going to be going over the Milestone 1 project you guys are going to be working on. Like I mentioned in class, this is going to be one of those the milestones are generally going to be things that you are going to want to follow along with me on. You're welcome to improvise them a little bit, but more I'm looking for consistency in this and just making sure you guys get the technical details right. The projects themselves are ones that I want you to elaborate a little bit more on, okay? Get a little bit more creative. Don't just, well, you're not going to have a video to follow on for the projects. But you'll want to elaborate more on the projects, whereas milestones are pretty much just for following along with me, okay? So, I have Revit going right here, and so you guys will have a copy of it. I'm going to be working off of my side of the screen here. So, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be making 4 10 by 10 by 10 rooms, all right? And so first let's get everything set up so that we don't have to go back and change a whole bunch more settings. Hopefully I can remember what I need to do. So first things first, let's go to the elevations here in the project browser. I'm just going to go to West, I guess. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take level 2 and I'm going to do Control-C, Control-V, just a copy-paste. And Revit's smart enough that I can just kind of go right there to 10 feet, and it's going to automatically name this to level 3, okay? So I'm going to leave that alone for now. I just need it to go to that point so that, because I'm going to do a 2 by 1 by 2, you'll see. So once I've got that, we'll go ahead and pop back over here, and I'm going to tile my views just so I can kind of work with what's going on here. And I should actually switch these because that's going to make that a little bit easier to see with my head shining brightly in the camera. Alright, so next let's set up our walls. Typically you want to kind of do your walls once and get it over with. Obviously you can't do that on every project. So I'm going to start again. I think I've showed you guys this several times in the videos, but I'm going to go through it just for the sake of it. I'm going to go with the 4 7/8 interior partition wall here. I'm going to edit it and move this back in. So, as always, duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Don't change your existing ones. It kind of makes things messy later on. I have a demo for colors later on where I actually show how this can get weird. So I'm going to do duplicate, and we're going to call this, we'll call this wall 1. I'll just do wall _ 1, and then we'll duplicate this again, and this will be wall _ 2. So wall 2, it doesn't matter which one you do the order in. I want you guys to go through the process more of actually creating these. So, let's see, this is 5/8. I'm going to change the thickness to 1/2 inch. Oops, that's right. Tab does that. I'm going to change this from a metal stud, there we go, to, let's see, wood joist rafter right here. I usually type wood and that brings it up, but I think you could probably type structure and it would come. No, looks like wood's probably better. All right, wood. We have a wood joist. Technically we've got the bad insulation, so we'll go with that one. Let me expand this so you guys can see what I have here. So finish 2, structure, finish 2, gypsum wallboard, structure, gypsum wallboard. This needs to come down to, actually no, that's good, and then this one needs to come down to 1/2 inch. Make sure your ends wrap on both sides there, and then the structured joist right there is a structural material, and that's checked. And I actually did this backwards. I'm going to go back to wall 1. Actually, let's go to wall 2, and we'll duplicate it as wall 1. It'll yell at me. Okay. Fine. We'll just go back to wall 1. I didn't want to repeat the process. I should have done this before. Alright, so let me just do this one real quick. So again, 1/2 inch metal stud layer to the bad insulation joist. this one back to 1/2 inch as well. And then all those should remain as are. Okay, so I'm gonna okay my way out. So we now should have wall 1 and wall 2. All right, I didn't need to exit out of there, but I like doing that because occasionally with Revit, if you do a whole bunch of changes here and then hit cancel or hit escape, that effectively cancels a whole bunch of work. So sometimes I just like getting to a point, backing out, and then going back in and making different changes. So we're gonna do this gypsum wallboard here next. So I've got this one right here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna right click on this, duplicate it, and we're gonna want 4 colors here. All right, so we're gonna do a red, a blue, a yellow, and that should be a green. Change that for you guys. Green. Okay. So go back to renaming this. So this will be red, and I'm gonna copy, duplicate all these out all at once. Red, blue, just so I make sure I have everything I need. Green, and yellow. Ooh. Yellow. Okay. So I've got those. I'm going to hit OK, OK, OK. Now I'm just going to go back in. It's a little bit tedious, but it's one of those kind of things that sometimes will save you. All right. So we've got this. So there's a couple settings here. We will have a demo later on in the semester that we'll get kind of way deep into the weeds about this whole area right here. What we're going to do is instead of we're going to change this from that gypsum wallboard right there. So under the appearance tab here, I'm going to do edit color. I'm going to change this to a blue of some kind. I'm not going to be super crazy about what specifically it is. And then we're going to take this image fade, we're going to pull it way back. Okay? So this is that problem, I guess we're showing you right now, is when you have multiple colors used and you change that color or that material, it's going to do this in Revit. And so what you want to do is, let's get it backwards. Let's do cancel. I did that backwards. Okay, click on this. So anytime you see the little hand right here, it's telling you that there's 4 duplicates. So we'll do duplicate, and then this one we're gonna do, again, process, edit color, choose the blue, pull the image fade back, we've got our blue. And then I'm gonna apply, okay. And so now, actually, I should be able to open this up, and you can see that one's actually specifically labeled blue. So we have red on one side, blue on the other, so we'll find the red one, appearance, duplicate, and then change the color, find a nice red, drag that all the way back, there's our red wall. Okay, that's 2 of the 3, we'll hit OK, OK, and then we'll select wall 2, and then we'll edit type. And then same process. This will be our green and yellow. So we'll do appearance. And you see that number is dropping down as we do this. It's just saying, hey, there's less duplicates of this as we go through. So we've got this one, and we'll change this to, what was I on? Blue? Yellow? Shoot, I didn't see. We'll find out when I hit OK, I guess. Oh, that was the default. That's why you can hit cancel now. Okay, I didn't just do that. Let's go back here. Didn't change. Okay, I did space out there. Okay, we'll do gypsum wallboard green. Duplicate the assets. Green. Okay, and drag that back. Apply. Okay, and the final one is yellow. This is the yellow one. Appearance. Duplicate. drag this, or not drag this one, yellow, drag that, apply, and okay. Okay. I did it again. All right, one last time. Click on that, green. Okay. Make sure you click on the color. There we go. Yellow, set the color. Turn that back, apply, okay. I didn't duplicate. See, happens to me too. Alright, should add some caffeine. Alright, so, that's fine. We can just correct the gypsum if we need to go back to it. So, alright, actually let's just replace it, I guess, if we're going to be consistent. Okay, come on. And again, we'll go into the weeds on this whole interface later. Just that's the process I want you guys to follow for right now, except accurately and not my mess of screwing that up 5 times. All right, so sorry, we'll go back here, select the yellow. Okay, all right, so we have yellow, green on this wall. Let me hit OK and make sure I don't screw it up on the way out. Wall 1, and we'll double check that this has blue and red. Okay, so we have our 4 wall colors now, all right? The other thing that we need is we need multiple levels here. So I was just going to do kind of like a square thing. Again, you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. Each room should be an enclosed space with 4 walls, a floor, a ceiling. For this, I want you to use the center of the wall. So that's why I want all your wall thicknesses to be consistent size or thickness. Is because you're going to use that to create a grid. Okay. So for the location line, we'll be using the wall center line. Sorry, go back here. So the height is going to be to level 2. Base constraint level 1, top constraint level 2. So I'm going to zoom in here a little bit, and then again we're using the wall center line. So I'm just going to go and I got it right there. Otherwise I can just type 10 foot and make my way around. Handy little reference right there. So I've got one room right there, and then I'm going to find that matching point right in here where the kind of those all snap together. And again, I'm going to go 10 foot, 10 foot, 10 foot. Okay. So I'm not particularly going to care which side is the inside and which side is the outside here. I just want to see that you have those differentiated wall colors. And then for the other part, I'm going to do the next level up. So over here in the project browser, I'm going to go to level 2. And it's handy that it shows you that kind of preview of the floor below you. And so same process, except I'm going to shift this a little bit, and I'll have at some point I'll have a project 1 that I'll show you that I will build. That kind of shows you what I'm looking for in this, but this should kind of give you an idea. I want something that's stacked funny. So if I go to the 3D view, here in the view menu, 3D view, you can see that this whole thing is kind of stacked in a weird way. We're going to be doing something a little bit more extreme than that for our first project, okay? So, first thing I can do real quick and easy is I'm going to come in and place floors. I don't care what floors you use the default floor, or not that one, but wood joist, 10-inch wood finish. That's completely fine for this. I don't really care what floor you use. It's not important. So I'm going to place a floor there. There's a couple different arguments I've had about how to place floors. Specifically, do you do 1 per room like that and then hit the green check mark? If this pops up, go ahead and say no, because that's going to kind of screw up what we're doing here. And then I'll draw another one. Make me go back out. another one here. So we have that floor right there. Nope. And then we'll go back here. We'll do another floor. And so what I was kind of going, and it should have been in one of the videos. If it's not, my concern is that when you guys are building these, what I don't want to see happen is I don't want to see roofs coming or walls coming up and then a dip down into the back of the ceiling. All right. When you have a floor above, there's always going to be that gap. So you're going to have a room that comes up, your ceiling's here. There's going to be some kind of joist here that ceiling is attached to, and kind of standard residential construction, and then there will be a roof above that. I'm going with just, again, as we saw in the elevations here, it's going to be 10 foot. So we're going to go with the default 8-foot rooms. So that'll leave a 2-foot space in between for the joists and whatnot. It's overblown. It's way overbuilt. Not worried about it for this. All right. I'm more looking for technique here. So going to hit check mark there. Again, nope. All right. So let's check our 3D view real quick and we'll see what we've got. So we have floor, floor, floor. We have empty ceiling areas right here, and then I need to go down back to my level 1. So let's go back down to level 1. Again, I'm going to place a floor in here. Green check mark. And then floor, rectangle. Actually, let me show you guys something real quick too before I shoot off on that. So when you have the floor, it actually starts with this little one right here. It's kind of a handy tool. You can just click on walls like this, and it'll actually automatically do it. I don't know why I do the rectangle. Oh, this is probably why I do the rectangles. It does stuff like that. That would be a good reason for me to do the rectangle. Oh no, did it just lock up? Oh, not again. 1 minute. See if I can unfreeze this. Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I had an error that was hiding behind my picture here. So lines cannot intersect each other. So we continue, and then I'll just Control Z these away. So back to level 1, rectangle. I'll just fill in that square. Okay, so so like I was saying earlier, I don't want to see open spaces like this, so I want to cover those up. So I actually have to go to View, and then Plan Views, Floor Plan, and it's going to give me this option right here to create a new floor plan. Okay, right now, because I've only made one level 3, it's going to just give me that. But you guys, for your project, are actually going to be doing up to 5 or 6 levels, so you'll actually have to do multiples when you go through that process. Let's see, there was one other setting we need to change here, so that it does that nice handy overlay so that we can see what's going on. Let's see. And we'll change this to, is it level 2? Yeah. Okay. So under the properties, when you're on level 3, make sure you change that range base level to level 2. Excuse me. All right. So, sorry, dog was barking. It's still growling. All right. Let's see. So I have to put a floor in this space right here. Sometimes if you're kind of a little bit sneaky, you can sometimes get away with it. If you do that, that's a little bit, sometimes it can go weird. Nope. So in this case, it's usually a little bit easier just to create this over here, and then there's that too. So if you have one other quick tip I can give you is, see how I had the vertical lines here and this was that other horizontal? What you can do is click on rotate and rotate it like that, and that'll clean up those lines. Let's see. Oh, we got one more floor to draw. Okay, so there's our floor. Nope. Okay, so we've got all our floors done. Ground floor, second floor, third floor. Next, I need to go in and I need to create my ceilings. So remember in that other demo I sent, ceilings are tricky. Sometimes you can just kind of assign them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the wireframe setting right here, and I'm going to kind of go in a position where I'd kind of be able to see all my rooms at the same time. And again, you can see all the floors are right there. So I'm going to go to level 1, and I'm just going to make sure I do one click. So click, click, level 2, click, click, and that's all 4 ceilings that we need, okay? All right, so we have a couple nitpicky things we've got to clean up now. So I'm going to change this back to shaded. So don't worry about the ground floor, but these floors right here, what we need to do is we actually need to bring this wall down to cover up that space, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this wall, and under, sorry, went too quick for myself there. So there's this little button right here. If you hit escape, clear everything out, click on a wall, and you should get this menu here, all right? And so it's got this split element right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in here and see how, kind of like, if I go on this wall, it's going to be perpendicular to that wall. If I go on this wall, it's going to be perpendicular to this one. So as long as that's going perpendicular to the wall that I want to cut, that's where I want it to be. So I'm going to cut it right here, and you can see that that little blue line just appeared right there. I'm going to cut it right there. And then this wall, we'll have to rotate around a little bit. This wall, and to select multiple, I'm going to hold down Control while I do this so you can see. Maybe you can't. If I hold down Control, it's a little tiny plus. If I hold down Shift, it's a little tiny minus. So I'm going to hold down Control, click, and click. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the base offset to negative 2 feet. Okay? So when I move it out of there, it's going to adjust that down. And then I have one little step left, which is to come over to level 2. And this is where we have to be a little bit tricky. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create another ceiling, but I'm going to set the level to level 1. And you'll be able to see what I'm doing here. And I'm going to tell it to sketch a ceiling. So I'm going to do this one manually because it's not going to be enclosed by a room. So I'm going to draw that right there. You can see that it's got that right there, and I think I actually did the wrong level. Oops. Let's undo it. Level 1. There we go. Okay, so now that wall is there. So this is the opposite part of that problem, and what you're going to be dealing with a lot in your project 1 is actually getting these walls to match, or the ceilings to match up with the wall, and the tops to match up like this. Again, I don't want you guys to have have that exposed area. All right. So we've got that. Next thing we're going to do is we need to create some doors and windows. Let me turn that to realistic, and you can see there again are the blue and red walls. At some point, I'll need to change these as well to something else, but we'll deal with that later. So let's see. Let's go back to level 1. Let's do our doors first. Revit has a couple default ones here. We'll go into this a little bit more in depth in a later module, but if you want to load more, go to Load Family, just click that button right there, and then there's a couple menus here. Just go into Doors. Some of these may or may not work. I'll explain the weird ones when we get to that point. But just if you want to try a couple different ones, for the purpose of this demo though, just go ahead and grab a door. It doesn't matter which one. So for your module, I need you to make sure that all these rooms attach to each other, so that someone could conceivably walk through from room to room. I'm also going to make sure that the doors open up in a correct way, so you want to have the doors open up towards a wall and not into the middle of the room. So I'm going to do that on level 1. I'm going to create a little patio out here on level 2. Get that right there. Sorry, what? Oh, I must have double clicked. Let's go back to door, and again, flip it around, place that one. All right, so we have doors. Each room needs to have windows. So again, same thing. It's got a couple default windows here, or you can click on Load Family, scroll down to Windows, and there's going to be a couple. Some are going to be more or less useful for you in this project, so don't worry about that for now, but it's there just for your advanced information. So level 1, again, I'm going to come down here. We'll put a window right here by the door. We'll put another one over here. Actually, let's do a series of windows. Actually, let me show you guys a cool trick too. So I've got this window right here. You don't have to do this, but just for your information, I'm going to click on array, and then I'm going to go to, I got too wide of a window. Let's go right there. So you can create arrays of things with this. It's kind of useful. If I wanted 3 of them, oops, but it's not going to let me because I don't have enough wall there. Whenever you create an array, once you're done and you're happy with it, make sure you ungroup it. Okay, we'll get, again, more into the weeds on that one later. So we've got doors, windows, walls. Let's go to level 2. Level 2. And I will also place more windows in here. And right there. All right, so the last part of this is, oops, I closed that. So, enclosed space, we have 4 walls, a floor, and a ceiling in each room. All rooms should connect to the ground. So, that's the next slash hardest part of this, is getting stairs working. So for this one, what I'm going to have you guys do is not do internal stairs for this. If you haven't watched the stairs video yet, that's more of a primer for the actual project. I'm going to have you guys just do it from here. So quick demo on stairs. Stairs, let me back out of this. So I'm going to go to level 1. I'm going to click on stair, and it's going to give me all these crazy menus here. Actually, it doesn't, it's not that many crazy menus. I'm going to change my location line to the exterior support left. And again, I'll have a kind of better primer on this later. This is super quick just for this demo. So just follow along with this, and then we'll get into the weeds with these as well. So I'm going to do the run with that line right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click, and as I start moving up, you can see that it starts kind of filling in the number of steps. And then there's a little counter here that says, 1 remaining, 0 remaining, 5 remaining. So it's going to take the height, the rise and the run of the stairs, and the height of the wall that it's, or the height difference between the floors. And it's going to go, okay, you need this many to actually get up there. So I'm going to click right there, and if I scoot this over, you can see that it has just quickly drawn me a staircase. The other thing I want to do for these stairs is a landing, and I'm going to do a sketch. Sorry, that was a little bit, I kind of clicked on that. Hopefully you guys can go back and see that. But I'm going to choose a boundary rectangle, and then we're just going to draw that right there, and a green check mark, and that draws a landing there at the top of the stairs for people to walk out onto. I'll delete, and I'm going to hit escape. Just kind of, the nice thing about this little green check mark red X thing is I can hit escape and get out of the tool. So I want to get rid of this because that's kind of something you don't want there. People might trip on it. And then, no, I think, oh, sorry, railing. Oh, that's what we need. So we'll do railing, and we'll do, what are our options? Let's do a pipe guardrail, and we'll do it on a stringer. Hit OK. And then no. Let me close this out, and then we'll come back and do it. Okay. Oops. Excuse me. It was already there. I just needed to close out. Okay. So we've got a nice railing going on there. Let's see. I need to go back into this, and we're going to do edit path for this railing. So I'm going to tell it, hey, don't draw this right here. So I'm just going to select it, hit delete, and I tend to do that twice. The other thing is we're going to make this safe, so I'm going to draw a railing around the edge here. Come on, there we go. So we're going to go this way. Oh, I will probably need to set the height of this to something that's not that. Hopefully. Uh, okay, fine. We'll draw a new railing. Yes. Okay, so I'll just go back in here. We'll just do it one step at a time. So edit path, and oh, okay, I know it. Okay, continue. It doesn't want this extra one here. That's fair enough. Okay, that was the extra path I was talking about. That's why I was confused. Okay, so connect that over here and this to here. All right, green check mark. There we go. All right. So that's what I'm looking for, is just kind of a step, some sort of landing that goes up there. You do not need to connect these to open tops for this milestone. So let's see. All rooms connect to the ground. Holes in ceilings and floors. Place stairs as appropriate. All exposed areas should be covered. Yep. Okay. So that pretty much covers that. So that's what we're looking for in this project. It should be kind of a simple exercise, but it's got some technical things in there. So we have you guys doing levels. We have you putting together walls. We have you placing walls, keeping the sizes consistent. We have you covering with walls, floors, ceilings, and all kinds, ceilings and floors in different locations. So especially this one down here is a little bit abnormal compared to what you typically do, or would think you'd have to do. And then placing stairs just as a quick thing. All right. So let's see. I believe that's everything. Yeah, all right. I think that's going to be it for this project. So this is basically what you guys will turn into me. Again, check the rubric. Just make sure that you turn it in as the file name and everything, just so it makes it easier for me to organize them. Oh, ooh, before I forget, almost didn't do it. We need to change these walls because we need to use both wall types. So I'm going to do a slice through here just to select. You can see if I get it in the right area, doing a right to left click and drag here. If I go too high, I get the ceiling. If I go too low, I get the doors and windows. So if I get just the right spot right there, I get all the walls. We're going to change these walls from wall 1 to wall 2. And you can do this kind of however you want. I should have checked. So we'll go to, we'll go realist. Sure. We'll do this later. All right. You guys should save though. Don't forget to save. All right. Realistic. So there's my walls. I can go in here. You can see that just that little bleed has a green there, but it's technically not showing through. Let's get rid of this tile in real quick, and we can kind of show you what's going on here. So, all right. There's our project. We have some of these are red. Obviously, these walls that are shared are going to be have one on one side and one on the other. That's something that you guys will have to deal with later on, is having multiple wall types. So you'll have an exterior wall with possibly one paint color on it for one room, and then another room with the same exterior, different paint color. So making sure that you guys are organized, getting used to organizing your paint colors and your walls and your wall names and everything is important. I didn't do it that much in this project, but we will go over that a little bit later too. If you want to be a little bit fancy, you can come in here, and if you set the top offset to -1 inch, that'll drop that down just the tiniest bit, and then you can edit this boundary and just drag that over. Should snap, and still no. And then you can kind of close that gap right there if you want to have kind of like a clean, consistent rooftop. All right, I'm gonna wrap it at that. That's what you guys are gonna be working on. I basically want to see exactly this, unless you want to get fancier, but this is really all I'm looking for this milestone. All right, so first week of class, fairly simple. We'll get into roofs later. So yeah, I guess I should turn this off. Where is it? Nope, not you. All right.